You've done packing your bags, you're off to the airport, and once you arrive, of course, you've got to snap a picture of your boarding pass. How else is everyone on social media going to know what an amazing trip you're about to have? But this boarding pass, the boarding pass photo that you just posted online, could be revealing a lot of information about yourself that could ruin your vacation. Hi everybody, foXnoMad here, and today I want to help you travel smarter by explaining why you should never post pictures of your boarding pass online so you can protect your privacy, accounts, and trip from an early cancellation. At first glance, boarding passes seem to have pretty generic information that's not worth protecting. Your full name, the date of your flight, the departure and destination, flight number, and seat. There's more information on a boarding pass than just your name and your seat number, and on the surface, those might not seem like particularly useful or particularly sensitive pieces of information, but for someone with malicious intent, those little bits of data like your name, when you're going, where you're going, all that information can potentially be used to scam you. Your full name might not seem very valuable, but especially if you've got a middle name, it's a good identifier for a thief to narrow things down. Departure city might also be interesting since it could indicate the area you live, and now a cybercriminal has bits of information indicating who you are, the area you might be living in, and you put those two together and you can probably turn up an address with some time on a search engine. Going to Vienna for 2 weeks? Your house or apartment might be empty and a potential thief knows exactly how long you'll be gone. It might seem like paranoia, but robberies of homes after people post online that they're on vacation do happen. And that's just the high-level information that a boarding pass can reveal about your habits, where you're going, where you might live, your full name, all that information. Those are just the surface-level things. So you might be thinking, well, I can just post my boarding pass after my vacation. Why not just take a picture at the airport and post it once I'm back home? But there's a lot more sensitive information on your boarding pass that you might not be aware of. Boarding passes will typically show your ticket number. That, combined with the rest of the information on a boarding pass, is often enough for someone to modify or cancel your flights. Just try it the next time you book a flight. See how much information you can gather with just the ticket number or your passenger name record or PNR, which is almost always on your boarding pass. Airlines don't usually need any more information than that to allow you to view your flight, modify your flight, or even cancel your flight. And there may be other options or information that you can gather using just those two numbers, which means that if somebody else has those two numbers, they can view your flights, modify your flights, or even cancel your flights, leaving you with one big headache. Posting your boarding pass online also leaves you vulnerable to social engineering attacks, where someone tries to compromise your accounts by pretending to be someone else. One clever example is someone sees that you're traveling, finds out where you work, and sends some spam or phishing emails to your coworkers to try to access their accounts. Social engineering basically is somebody impersonating either you or somebody else. So you can imagine a scenario where somebody's trying to impersonate you and they call the airline and try to get access to your mileage account, for example. Hi, yes. My name is Christopher Pike. My ticket number is 12345 and my PNR number is 678910. That's correct. Yeah, my date of birth. Yeah, that's right here as well. Let me give you that. And also the last 4 digits of my credit card. Yep, we got that. And also my passport number, at least the last couple of digits are there as well. Could you give me access to my mileage account perhaps? And let me get into that account. I'd like to just make some modifications and make sure that, my flight is being confirmed. Okay, great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now, it might not be quite that easy, but by posting pictures of your boarding pass online, you leave yourself open to these kind of scams and attacks. So the best thing to do is just don't post those pictures at all. All of this information is also contained in the barcode, which can be read by anybody very easily, either with a cheap scanner you can buy online, or there are even a bunch of websites too where you can just upload a picture of one and read all of the data contained in that barcode. Your frequent flyer number, flight details, all that can be used to get into your mileage account or reset the password, locking you out. Most mileage accounts don't have strong security options. They're usually just protected with a password, but if your mileage account does have an option for two-factor authentication, where you get a text message or an email that you have to click a link to confirm that you are the one logging in, definitely enable that, but just know that most mileage accounts don't offer that, and they're only protected with a password, so they're pretty vulnerable to an attack. There are even cases of identity theft using the information gleaned from a boarding pass. One popular method is that someone calls the airline using the information that they got off your boarding pass to get more information and commit fraud, essentially opening the door to commit other forms of identity theft. In addition to your frequent flyer mile, your boarding pass can give away your known traveler number, which is associated with global entry and TSA PreCheck in the United States, and redress number that's a part of the Department of Homeland Security's TRIP program. It all comes down to information. So the less you post online, the better. And I know that's a recommendation that a lot of you aren't going to follow, but one piece of advice that you should definitely follow is never post your boarding passes online. Just snap a photo of your lovely face at the airport or on a beach, preferably after your trip. All right, so here's a bonus tip. I know we've talked a lot about not taking pictures of your boarding pass, but there is an instance where you should take a picture of your boarding pass, which is every time you get a paper boarding pass, take a picture of it. Don't post it online, but having that picture is actually going to come in really handy, especially if you use frequent flyer miles. If you have a mileage account, a lot of times airlines won't properly credit you for a trip that you've taken. To claim missing miles, they often want your ticket number, flight details, and even the seat. All of that information is conveniently on your boarding pass, and if the airline has more questions, you can always send them the photo to verify. I've had that happen to me a lot of times. I'd say about 20% of the time after I've taken a trip, the airline doesn't credit me the miles properly, and I have to then either email them or go in through their, custom form that they have and try to claim missing miles. And a lot of times they'll want extra verification, like the seat number, which, of course, I don't remember the seat number that I was in. So having that photo of the boarding pass on your phone just for your own records really helps when you need to verify or claim missing miles. And speaking of paper boarding passes, try to go digital only when you can. It's less paper being used, less to worry about. You don't have to actually worry about losing the boarding pass. All that stuff becomes easier if you just have it digitally on your phone. But if you do use paper boarding passes, make sure that when you get home, you shred those. So don't just throw them away in any trash bin. Get home and shred those, and then post about that great vacation that you just had, just not with your boarding pass in the picture. Thanks for watching. I hope this advice helps keep you a little bit safer before, after, and during your next trip. But if you have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'll have new videos for you every week, and I'll see you in the next video.